stylers, it's your girl Nadi here, and welcome back to my channel Full Style. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am back today with another video, and it is finally another tutorial. Yes, I did it. I knew you guys were waiting. It took me so long. Trust me, I understand the epidemic that was happening, but my life was going through a transition. As you can see from my blog, last week I moved from Ohio back to Chicago, and so excuse me if you noisy. I'm outside. I am in the city, and of course it is nosy, so I'm gonna make this intro real quick. Today's tutorial is a two-tone oversized maxi dress that's real fun, easy, breezy. I had a lot of fun making this tutorial. I got inspired to make this look, inspired to make this item after seeing a YouTuber, that I plus our YouTuber, haul this look from Shein site, I think it was, and I absolutely love the way that the dress was made, the ideal of the dress. So I thought the way that they had it look, they cut it and designed it on Shein site, I think the site. I'm gonna list it here below, and I'm gonna insert a picture. It was very upscale, every dress, but I wanted something that was casual, cool, and you could take to dress it up or dress it down if you wanted to. I think this dress is real fun, simple, easy breezy, perfect for the summer, transitioning into the fall. You can dress it up, dress it down. You can wear it as a cover up to the beach. You can wear it to a nice little day party, whatever you see fit. This is simple and easy. All you need is two different types of fabric, as many yards as you need of each fabric. Simple. This look is really simple. It's very customizable. You can choose your colors. You can choose what color go on what side. You can choose whether the dress is loose and flowy like mine, or is it more fitted and structured. It's completely up to you how you want to look and how you want to style this dress. If you're interested in seeing how to create your own oversized two-tone maxi look, then stay tuned and let me know what you think. Later, stylers. Okay, stylers, here is what you will need to get started. Two contrasting fabrics, at least 2 yards each depending on measurements, rotary cutter or scissors, matching thread, measuring tape or yardstick, and a marking tool such as chalk or pen. Before we can cut our fabrics, we need some measurements. We need the measurement for the width of the dress and measurement for the length of the dress. You want to measure the widest part of your body. For me, that is my hips and butt area. That is about 70 inches. So I divide 70 inches by 2 and get 35. So I want to cut each fabric 35 inches wide. The length is dependent on preference. I want about 56 to 57 inches. Let's get started. Okay, stylers, remember you want to use two different color fabrics. They could be contrasting or non-contrasting. The choice is completely up to you. Remember, have fun with it. To start off, I chose this nice white, solid white, and this nice golden sand colors. For the first time around, I chose to work with this jersey knit. The fabric is very light, breathable, has a lot of stretch. The perfect kind of material to go from summer to fall, and the same material that you use to make a basic tee or maxi skirts. Starting off with the white, I am going to cut out the length of my dress. I'm laying out my fabric on a nice flat surface. You can use a table or the floor. Have it flat and smoothed out. Make sure there is nothing underneath your fabric. Taking my measuring tape, starting off with the salvage end, I am going to mark out the length of my fabric. Remember, the length of the fabric is dependent on preference on how tall or short you are. Taking my measuring tape, I'm going to mark out 56 inches. That is 56 inches. I'm leaving about a half a seam for seam allowance. I'm going to do this down the width of my fabric so that I can have dashes to line my yardstick up with, so that it is easy for me to cut. Once you have marked down 56 inches down the width of your fabric, you want to take a ruler or some sort of straight edge. If you have a cutting table, this is all the more helpful, and you want to cut out as straight as possible, a straight line all the way down. Remember to keep it straight as possible. This will be the hem of your dress. Once you have cut your fabric out lengthwise, you want to turn it so that you can be able to cut it out widthwise. Again, laying it out flat on a nice smooth surface. Now off the bulk, this fabric already measures 60 inches wide, and I need 35, so I'm basically going to almost cut it in half. I have it 35 inches, and I add a 1/2 inch seam allowance so that I can have a little bit more fabric to work with. Again, making dashes all the way down the width of my fabric, I'm going to take my ruler and line those dashes up and cut them out with my rotary cutter. You will complete the same exact steps on your second fabric, laying it out flat on a nice smooth surface. Taking your measuring tape and measuring down 56 inches. Again, once you have cut out the length, you want to turn your fabric so that you can measure it widthwise. Again, this same fabric is 60 inches off bulk, so I'm going to again almost cut that in half to 36 inches. 35 inches with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Once you have cut out both fabrics, you should have two pieces that are 35 inches wide and 56 inches long, again depending on measures and length purpose. Okay, stylists, here comes the fun part. Here is where you get to choose the cut and style and how you want the dress to look and fit on you. And I'm going for the off the shoulder look, obviously. So I have a shirt here that fits me well that is already off the shoulder. Folding that in half, I'm going to pin it together so it does not move. I'm going to use this as my template. Taking that shirt, I'm going to lay it out flat on the first half of my fabric. And I'm going to line the top shoulder part with the top half of the dress going lengthwise. This will become my shoulder. Taking the middle part that is folded, I am going to line it up out widthwise. This will become the middle seam of the dress. And I'm going to pin this to the fabric so it does not move while cutting. Using my phone to weigh down the fabric, I'm taking my rotary cutter and I am going to cut out the open neckline that would give me the off the shoulders look. I'm going to repeat those same steps on the second half of the dress. Again, lining up the shoulders with the top of the dress going lengthwise and the middle with the seam going widthwise. And again, I'm going to take my rotary cutter and just cut out the open neckline. As you can see, this is how the dress will look. It is starting to come together. This is my neckline. This is the half of the dress meeting. Now it's time to cut out the armholes. Again, it's completely up to you. It could be sleeveless. It could have short sleeves. Again, you can choose whatever you would like for your sleeves. I'm going so I can have a little bit of sleeve so it could just hang off my arms ever so lightly. Here, I'm just taking that same shirt and I'm marking out where I want the sleeves to begin and end. If you have a circular ruler or one of those rulers that are curved, this will work perfectly. But since I do not, I'm going to use a plate to cut out my armholes. As you can see, I marked the beginning of my armhole about 1.5 to 2 inches down from the top of my dress. I did this so that I could be able to have room to either bring up my dress or let it out just a bit. I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm going to cut this out using the plate again as a template so I can get a nice curve. And I do this on both half of my dress, again trying my best to keep it symmetrical. Okay, now it's time to assemble our dress. You want to pin and sew down the middle, the front and the back part of the dress, as well as the two top shoulders. And when you're trying everything on to see how you like it, you want to roll and hem the neckline as well as the armholes. Okay, now it's time to sew. I am sewing the front seam. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end of your stitches. I'm just using a basic top stitch. I have pinned, like I said, the front half of the dress together. And I'm going to sew down the length of the dress. Now it's time to try on your dress. As you can see, I've only shown the front and back seams as well as the shoulders. And as you can also see that the dress is a bit big and so on me. I don't want it too loose. I don't want it too big to where it's falling off. So I'm going to bring in the middle and the back seam, the front and the back seam, as well as I'm going to raise up the shoulders so that it could just bring up the dress ever so slightly. I've done all of this before I've actually hemmed the bottom of the dress as well as the neckline and armholes. You want to do that after you are satisfied with the fit of the dress. Again, once you're satisfied with the fit of the dress, you want to go and you want to roll and hem the bottom of the dress and finish off the arm and the neckline. Once I was completely satisfied on how everything fit and looked, I went back and did a zigzag stitch down the front and back seams as well as shoulder seams, giving it a nice clean finish. Once you have done that, stylists, you are finished with your oversized off the shoulder fun maxi dress. As you can see, stylists, this dress is completely fun and unique take on a maxi dress. I absolutely love the way it came out. It's completely customizable. I'm thinking of recreating it with multiple colors, different colors, and multiple different cuts. It's perfect to transition from the summer into the early fall. Let me know if you decide to recreate this look, hashtag #InFullStyle. Thank you so much for watching, stylists. And as always, love yourself fully. Until next time.